So, today I want to discuss another horribly misunderstood term, and it is the term submissive, as applied to women. Submissive. Someone who does what they are told, right? This is how we understand the term submissive today. I also often hear the term submit being used interchangeably with the word serve. Not sure what non-existent rule of linguistics this connection is based on. There simply isn't any. Nonetheless, every time the conversation about marriage takes a turn around the concept of submissive, this serving things comes up. I'm still to figure out why and to find out the connection there. But anyway, let's talk about this submissive thing. What does this term submissive really mean? First of all, why does this concept cling to a woman like cling to a black dress? I'm not. I want to emphasize this. I'm not a feminist. I'm a realist. That's what I am for that matter. But all the efforts of the feminist movement aside, we all, men and women, would readily agree that the situation when a wife does not have a say in the marriage or a relationship where the woman's wishes are discounted is dysfunctional. If she's trying her best to be submissive, then she would have to discard her thoughts and preferences every time there is a disagreement. Right? Which would mean her wishes and preferences do not count on their own unless they match the guy's or are benevolently approved by him. Or how? This is what I mean by discounted here. I bet you cannot argue with my logic here. Being submissive, in the sense that we know it, would mean that your thoughts, preferences, and ideas are discounted in favor of the person you are being submissive to. But as I started to say, we all, men, women, professionals, everyday people with common sense, would label relationships where one of the partners has no voice and constantly needs to suppress their needs and opinions as dysfunctional. Dysfunctional at best, or even abusive. Anyone of us who has witnessed families like this knows that such families lack good energy. There is usually a lot of depression and anxiety in these families. Their kids usually have problems and their house is usually in a state of chaos. Now, in the 21st century, we have finally come up with the term emotional abuse, which describes these dynamics. The dynamics that render the people in a relationship unhappy and oppressed. Abuse means the dynamics that are emotionally damaging and cause other negative consequences, including consequences that reflect on the children's success and their ability to thrive in life. Abuse is evil. It is immoral. Evil and immoral things do not come from God. So why? Please tell me why then are we still hanging on the concept of a submissive woman as some kind of moral virtue? Well, there are historical reasons as to why the idea of a submissive woman is associated with morality and virtue. Actually, I think I will make a separate video on this someday. This is an interesting subject, how it all came around, but now, in the interest of time, let's skip this part and just say that there are valid historical reasons why this concept took root. I will answer the question I posed earlier like this. The reason we are still still hanging on to the concept of a submissive woman as something associated with virtue is because we have never stopped to think what the term really means. Never looked at things at face value, as I have just invited you to do by showing you that if a woman tries to diligently live up to the idea of submissiveness as we understand it today, this will create emotionally abusive dynamics in the family. We just have never thought through all this enough. So, let's do this now. One interesting thing about terms is that they change over time. My favorite example is charity. The term charity used to mean unconditional love, and this is the meaning in which it is used in spiritual literature. Today, however, the word charity means places that accept donations like Goodwill or the Salvation Army. The meaning of the word has changed. Thankfully, everyone knows that and does not interpret the scriptures to mean that writing checks to every spam request from a non-profit is some kind of a virtue which will also carry on to the other side of life. Wow, scary thought. It better not. Another example is vanity. In Hebrew, the word that is translated as vanity means literally trying to direct the wind. Yeah, as the wisdom goes, we cannot direct the wind. All we can do is adjust the sail. Trying to direct the wind is an effort that is going to be wasted in vain. Vain effort. Vain vanity. This is how the term came around. This word would be more properly translated as futility today, but vanity made perfect sense in King James times. How the term vanity took on the meaning that we associate it with today is actually very interesting from the standpoint of psychology, by the way. Think about this. When you overdress, overdecorate, spend excessive money trying to present a good image of ourselves, what are you doing? You're trying to present an image to the world which is not you. You're trying to hide your true self. And this is a very vain effort, very futile effort. Our ego is always trying to take over our true self, seize the power and be the king in its place. But this effort is an exercise in futility. Our true self will always remain what it is. Anyway, you should watch our Ego versus True Self playlist for more information on how it all works and what all happens here. I will leave you the link below, but now let's get back to the term of submissive. This is another term, the meaning of which has changed over time. You know, how it is said that under severe stress men break, but women bend. This is what this term that is used here and is translated as submissive has been historically used to describe the ability of the female energy to adapt. The ability of the female energy to adapt. Let me explain this. Instead of simply rebelling against the circumstances, the woman has an incredible ability to accept the reality how it is and then take it from there. Like, instead of stamping your feet, bending your fists and throwing a tantrum and then leaving things in the exact same state where you found them before the tantrum, as a man would do, the woman instead has an almost magic ability to accept the reality for what it is and then brainstorm what to do in order to fix the problem. This is what the term submissive is used to describe here. The ability to accept things for what they are, the ability to have the insight into the true nature of what is going on, roll with reality and influence it from within. I suppose in today's language a better term would be flexible, but it doesn't quite cut the depth of the meaning here either. The female energy envelops and it influences from within. It does not simply command a change. It meets you where you are and then makes the change happen. Have you ever avoided bad company or a bad decision because you didn't want to disappoint your mom? Wasn't this feeling of not wanting to fall short of her love and expectations a lot more powerful than the effect of any of your dad's lecturing about what is right? This is the female energy at work. It is more subtle, but very powerful. So, a man should use his authority. By the way, the authority over the animals and other material things of the earth has been given to Adam in the Garden of Eden. And the woman, his partner, wasn't on that list. Please note that. Anyway, he should use his authority over the elements of the world to assist her. And the woman, in the meantime, would want to be flexible with her husband. The woman can use her adaptability to teach him to accept the things he cannot change without a tantrum and encourage him to change the things he can, because she knows where he has this authority to change things. She's the one in the relationship that has that magic insight to see all things for what they truly are in reality, to know the difference between the things you cannot change and those that will yield your power and potential. She's the only one in the relationship who can bend with the wind and adjust the sails properly. What a beautiful arrangement. If I was God who came up with this, I would take offense to some people reading abuse and slavery into this instead.